Amanda, Seint artist. We're gonna do our makeup today using my Seint Makeup cream-based 3D foundation. If you wanna try this, I just need a makeup-free selfie. There is a link in the description. Click it, fill out my form, send it to me, super easy. I just need makeup-free inside, facing a window, at least a little more than arm's length away. Do not send it outside. Do not take it in your car. Please be inside at the window. It's the best way I can match you with confidence. Otherwise, I'm gonna message you back and be like, I need another picture. Anyways, we're gonna do this camo, the camo method. I've been talking to you guys. You guys have been asking me what the heck is a camo color. I'm gonna tell you, I do it all the time. I just call it color correcting. But we're gonna talk about it. So here are my colors today. These are my fellas, my ladies, my colors. And so I'm going to be using the new color Hazel as my camo color. Sandy is my main highlight. Palace is my brightening. And then right here is Cedar, the new color. If you have hyperpigmentation or freckling and you feel like indigo, if you're using indigo, kind of grabs them and pulls them, Cedar is a great option. I'm going to be using my detail brush, my blush and bronzer brush, and we're going to dig in. So I have oily skin. I'm going to go in with my Milk Hydro Grip, and we're going to put this on. And then I'm also going to go over my skin with a little bit of setting powder. If you have oily skin and you want to use cream makeups, you're going to need setting powder. I would recommend getting two, one for your palette and one for your purse. I mean, let's be realistic here. We know what our skin does if you're oily, and it's makeup, not magic. And if you expect your oil to not come through, I don't like to tell people they're wrong, but you're wrong. Okay, so we're gonna get into this, and I'm gonna go into my camo color first because that's what the camo method is, and that's gonna be that new color Hazel. I'm gonna use my finger, I'm gonna tap on, and I've got stuff. And I usually put aspen here, I put suede around here. I'm gonna be using Hazel as my camo color, and I'm going to tap that over my discoloration and the things that bother me. So right here on my cheek, and then I'm gonna bring this up. So this is one way of applying that camo color. I have some discoloration here, and I'm just pressing that in what's left on my finger. I'm gonna clear off in my crease. That's the camo method. That's the camo method. That's it. You could also take a brush. You can use the short end of the blush and bronzer, the small end of the detail. You can go into your camo color. Again, mine is Hazel. And you can just go over that discoloration and just stamp this over. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just, I drape mine up because I have discoloration right there. And it's all coming in over in this area here. I have discoloration here, and then empty it out on my redness there. This is camo. That's it. It's just taking a color that's a bit too dark. Hazel is a little too dark for me, you can see, and it's covering those imperfections. That's the camo method. I'm gonna go to the blush and bronzer, and I'm gonna go into Sandy, and we're gonna go into our main highlight, and I'm just gonna put this on like normal. I'm putting it on the lower part of my face here, and I am going to be blending this up, and I'm gonna stipple it. If you have maturing skin, stippling should be your primary method, of applying color, because it gets it in with all of your texture. Texture is what it is. Skin is a texture. You can be 16, you could be 10 years old. Their skin is a texture. And so you're taking that color and you're stippling it on, and when you press it in, you can massage it, but pressing it in is, to me, key. And so when you put this on, it balances out your skin. My main highlight has just balanced my skin. My neck is always lighter than my face. But when I put this on, I'm going to use bronzer to bridge it, but I'm just putting that on, and then I'm stippling it, especially over my camo color. I have found this works probably better than when I was using aspen and suede. I don't know why, it just does. But I'm just pressing this on, putting this on, and then I'm going to pull this down my neck so I don't have the dreaded 1997 makeup line. So I'm pressing that on. Okay, going back into Sandy, I'm gonna do the same thing over here. We're just balancing the skin, pressing this on. I'm gonna press this up, and I'm gonna bring it up over that scarring, into that nose crease. And I'm just working my main highlight in with that camo color to give myself the coverage I want. And that camo color is what's going to keep it hidden. It's just hiding it. That's all we're doing. All right, so I've put my main highlight on. This is the only area I put my main highlight. I don't bring it up any higher because everything in my palette is foundational coverage, And so with that, I don't need to cover my whole face in one color. I'm gonna go to my detail brush and I'm gonna contour. I'm gonna go into that cedar color, and I am going to put this on either side of my forehead here. Isn't that such a pretty color? It's gonna get real pretty real fast. I just use little circles and I bridge it together here, but then you can press it. It just depends on how taut your forehead is what I'm gonna say. But you can do little light circles. Don't press your brush to where it's doing this. You want little light circles to just grab and move with ease. That's all that it is. I'm gonna go to the small end and I'm gonna go into Palace, and I'm gonna put a dot right here in the middle. I really like Palace. It has pink undertones. Now, if you're looking at it, it doesn't look pink or orange or anything like that. It's when you swatch it next to other shades that you get that look that people talk about. But I put this on, I like that pink undertone. I feel like it puts a little life in my skin, but everybody's different on what they like. So I'm using Palace and I'm just pushing this. Do you see how it just lightened, brightened, gave the illusion of reflecting light? And then I'm gonna pull this towards cedar, and they're gonna work together to create a balance. I have dimension, I have coverage, and my skin tone is balanced, but with the dimension of my face. Super simple. I love playing with this makeup. All right, I'm gonna take my big end on my detail brush. I'm going into cedar on the edge here, and I am going to press this and make 2 good lines on the top sides of my nose. And then I'm gonna bring it down right here. And then I'm just gonna tap it. I'm gonna push it towards my brow. You want it to follow your natural shadow. It doesn't have to be perfect. I have a bit of a bump on my nose, and so I use the stipple method, and then I also bridge it together, and then I take care of the tip. And then I use my brightening to make it straight and nice. So I'm gonna take that small end, I'm gonna press into Palace, and we're gonna go at the top between the brows, and we're gonna pull it down to the tip. Just like that. And then I'm gonna use my finger. You can apply this with your finger also. My gosh, my nails, I miss having nails. Anyways, it's summer, nails do not work for me. I'm a chicken farmer in the summer now. Anyways, so no childcare too to go do it. Anyways, we don't need to hear about that. Anyways, I'm just tapping this in and out just like that. And I'm gonna grab that big end again. I'm gonna go in to the side of it. I always apply my contour on the edge here. I'm gonna go above this shadow, and we're gonna press this above it. Just hang it to the back. If you're new to contouring, that's where you need it. Don't worry about creating lines. People like to bring it down and bring it down, follow this little shadow. If you're first getting into contour, don't do that. You don't need to. This is all about just accentuating the things that you like. I like having plump little cheeks. And as I've been getting older, I'm getting ready to turn 43, plump them up. So I'm just popping this on and I push it up. I keep it at an angle, push up into that cheekbone, and I push it up into that temple. But I don't bring it in any farther than my outer corners of my eyes. This should not be contoured. Anyways, all right, gonna grab a little more, and I'm just gonna go right here, and I'm just gonna chisel this out right there. I always go in front of the earlobe to create a structure back there, and then pull it down so the shadow fades the way a shadow fades. All right, we're gonna grab a little more of my Palace brightening right here, grabbing it. I'm just gonna hit my Cupid's bow and the mid of my chin. This is just creating a little brightness and dimension to my face that I like. You don't have to do it. It's whatever you want. You don't have to use brightening if you don't want to. You can just use your main highlight in all these places. It's really your prerogative. It's your face, it's your palette. Do whatever you want. You can always get more later. You will anyway. All right, I'm gonna go to my blush and bronzer, and I'm gonna grab my bronzer, which I have right here, and I'm gonna go here and here. I like to press it onto this part just for, it's kind of like structuring, but you know, making it look like I'm not just turning my neck brown. So I always start it here and I do that. All right, anyway, all right. Bridged it together. I'm gonna grab a little more bronzer, and I'm just gonna hit right here. And I just like to add a skosh of warmth. I really like my cheeks to be warm. I do. I don't know what blush I'm gonna use yet. I been playing with a lot of them, but I think I packed a lot away too. I did. We'll try Madrid. I've never been a super big fan of Madrid, but with my scarring, I always take Frenchie and I'm gonna pop it here. I like to do my blush before I do my under eyes. In case I go ham with my blush, I can rein it in. So I'm just putting my Frenchie color over my acne scarring. It's a really light color. A lot of people don't like Frenchie because they think it falls flat. Don't use it as a blush, use it as a tool. This is a great color for under eye correcting. This is a great color for using a bolder blush, but not having it pull rosacea through. It's a beautiful color, but a lot of people feel like it falls flat. I completely agree, but using it as a tool will change the game. All right, what colors do I have for, I have Madrid. I wanted to try Renaissance and Madrid together. So we'll just use Madrid as a blush color. I'm gonna start up here. I've been really liking these warmer peachy tones. Sandstone's more orange and brick color, but I've been really loving these peachy colors. So I'm just grabbing Madrid and I'm hanging that up top, and then I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna bring it down. I don't like Madrid on its own, but I do like it with Frenchie. That's prettier than I thought it would be. I like a really bold cheek though. Today's not that day. Today's a pretty simple, I'm just gonna keep it simple kind of day, because I just really wanted to show the camo method and the finish you get with the camo method. I am losing volume in my cheeks, so my apples aren't defined. So I keep my blush back here, and then I smile and you can see where that definition is, and I blend it down to that area, just like that. All right, I am going to use the small end of my detail brush, and I'm gonna go into Palace. I tap on the side, and I am going to get my under eyes. I'm gonna start on the top apples. I like those to be a bit bright, just for a little, it gives the illusion that my cheeks have some suppleness. It lifts it. Brightening, light colors bring out, whereas shadowing brings in, obviously. And so I'm just gonna press this up into my inner corner here, and I'm just getting that orbital bone and up, following kind of the cartilage of my nose, but then I'm gonna pull up on my orbital here and then give my eyes some lift. And then whatever's left on my brush and on my face to move, I will bring it to this soft tissue area. Less is more. If you have maturing under eyes, very little, if any. If you feel that this looks crepey, I use balm to help reduce any texture that can be created. Again, you could be 10 years old and you can use the wrong product on something and you can create texture. So I say less is more. I use the balm under my eyes, and then I just tap this up. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, starting on that apple to give the illusion that it's poppy up here, punchy, I don't know. And then I bring it up to that inner corner, and then right here, bringing it up. But I really pay attention to my orbital bone and then bring it to that soft tissue area, and I tap, and you just want the smallest amount. Demi might be your jam, 3D, but look at how nice that looks. I want to add more blush. Who knew, right? Grabbing some blush, and I'm just gonna add a little more right up here. I am who I am. All right, we're gonna contour our lips. I'm gonna use the small end of the detail brush, and I'm gonna grab that cedar. We're gonna go right under the lip here, and we're gonna contour. I'm gonna go right above the lip, and it's just gonna create this little definition that makes it look like you have a curl, and it makes them look fuller. Okay, I'm gonna go, do I have a cleaning tile? I do. I'm gonna clean it off on my cleaning tile here. It's not just for eyeshadows. And then I'm gonna go into Palace again, and I'm gonna go right around here. It doesn't have to be perfect. The key is, if you're gonna contour your lips, get this blended first. And just use your finger to fluff this out a little, because you want to see it and then you don't want to see it. So tuck that in and tap it. You wanna see it, but you don't want to see it like this, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, I am going to line my lips. I'm going to use the multitasker brush. I need to clean the end of it off, so I'm just going to use my cleaning tile here. I love this cleaning tile. I keep them everywhere. All right, so we're going to go into Renaissance. That's the color I want to use. I'm going to go in on the big end, and I'm going to line my lips right here with Renaissance. Lining, oh crap. Lining, the nice thing is if you pop off on the bottom with Renaissance, it works like the contour. So you're okay. All right, that's what I did. Anyway, getting that upper corner, you really don't forget about those outer corners on your lips. Fill those in. Okay. I really have been looking for the perfect dusty rose color that's not a gloss. I like a matte finish on my lips. And then if I want it shimmery, you just put something glossy on top. Renaissance is my favorite. I mean, this is a really pretty lip color that can be really, really heavy and deep and beautiful, but it can also get muted down. I'm going into Madrid, which I put on my cheeks, and I'm gonna fill it in. We're gonna fill it in, and I'm feeling like these together is gonna create that color I've been waiting for. Maybe I'll melt some together. Ooh, I didn't buy extra Renaissances. Oh, I wish that color would come back. Anyway, here we go. Ooh, this is very pretty. Okay, for me, I'm gonna put something glossy on top. You can do two things. You can put the balm on top, which is a great option, and it just hydrates it a little bit. But if you like a gloss, Sunshine State is so pretty, and sometimes it's available and sometimes it's not. La Cienega is a great secondary option. It is sheer, and I'm just gonna tap that over top, and it's not gonna change it. It's so pretty. It looks really dark in the tin. It goes on, oh, I need to use a finger I haven't used already. It goes on sheer. That has color because of I need to find a finger without color. Maybe my pinky, just because it goes on sheer. You barely see it, so it doesn't compromise your color. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna grab my setting spray, which is Urban Decay, because again, I'm oily. I don't like leaving a dewy finish with my setting spray because again, I'm oily. I'm gonna take the fluffy end, I'm gonna go into my setting powder and around the perimeter of my face while my face is still damp. I am gonna take this powder and I'm gonna press this in over the damp areas to create less texture. Powder will always change the consistency of your makeup, and it will also show some form of texture on your face. But I spray, and while it is damp, I go in and I let them work together, and I'm pressing it into my skin. But I don't ever directly apply fresh powder on my brush to my under eyes and to my nose and mouth area. Those are high traffic areas, and I have my smile lines, I have the creasing, I have fine lines. And so with that, if I press powder directly onto those areas, it's gonna texturize it. But that is the Camo method, and it just gives this really nice, flawless, beautiful finish. I love my Aspen and I love my Suede, but if you're looking for another method, find a shade that's just a little bit too dark for you. That's not hard to do. You can always find a color a little too light, and you can always find a color a little too dark. That's your Camo color. That's your Camo color. If you are Athens, bump it up to Sandy or bump it up to Hazel. If you are Sandy, bump it up to Goddess. You can definitely go just pick the next color up. Pick the next color or two up, whatever you want, but find a color just a little darker than your main highlight, and that's your Camo color. You don't need a custom match if you already use Seint, but if you do want to do the Camo method, let me know in the description of your color match form, and we can get that set up. So that is it. That's the Camo method. It's so pretty, and I never thought I'd like Madrid this much, but I do. All right, that's it. Have a great day.